standing in Libby Park in Church Hill, one of the oldest residential neighborhoods in Richmond. Church Hill has a fascinating, complex, rich history. Some of the oldest homes in Richmond are here on this hill. A lot of young professionals have relocated here because of its vibe. But there's some darker parts of the story as well. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Greg Somerville, and I get to help lots of folks just like you moving in or to Richmond, Virginia, one of the best small cities in the U.S. To subscribe or to book a call, see the description below. I'd love to help you find your dream home here in Richmond. Church Hill is a classic story of gentrification here in Richmond. With the influx of white, middle-income professionals who have brought in business and rising home values, we've also seen the displacement of many of the existing low-income residents. Today we're going to be taking a tour with a group called Urban Hope that is determined to do something about that. This is Lawson Wijesuria, Urban Hope's Director of Development and Strategy and our tour guide for the day.
But please be looking out the windows the whole time. Be curious, ask what things are.
The things you see, you can't unsee. The stories you hear about, you can't unhear about.
The first stop on our tour is St. John's Church, site of the Second Virginia Convention held in 1775. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and other founders were gathered here when Patrick Henry made his famous speech, "Give me liberty or give me death." The fight for freedom of opportunity, for freedom of access to affordable housing, continues.
Our vision, a thriving East End community where everyone can find a home, and we mean everyone.
The housing stats between 1950 and 2020 are sobering. In the 50s, 20% of the white population fled to the suburbs, while the non-white population increased by 26%. 4 massive housing projects were built along the northern perimeter of Church Hill between 1952 and 62. The real estate market in Church Hill exploded between 2012 and 2020. Only 73 homes sold in 2012 compared to 960 homes in 2020, a 1,300% increase. Meanwhile, the median sale price jumped 342% from $92,000 to $315,000. With the increase in home value went the tax assessments as well. And the higher the taxes, the less affordable housing was for the original residents. As the tour continues, Lawson points out the impact that local organizations have had on the neighborhood over the years. The Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club was begun in 1920 and has been serving families at little to no cost since then.
There's a lot of churches. There's a lot of those institutions that are anchoring in a community. And when you move the people because of infrastructure choices we make or because prices drive them out, then you lose that connectivity. What we want is to acquire, build, renovate, whatever we need to do at the lowest cost possible so that the rent sustains that building without ongoing subsidy. But in order to do that, we have to come up with a lot of innovative strategies as to how to acquire. Usually for us, needs to be below about $150,000 for a single unit. The primary client at Urban Hope is a family or an individual that's living between 20 and 50% of the area median income.
As of 2022, Urban Hope owns 32 properties within Church Hill, housing over 80 tenants. 98% of their clients identify as Black, 2% as white. Each one has a story to tell.
And then on 36th Street is where the second official Urban Hope homeowner became a homeowner, Charles Bowling. He's actually now a homeowner on the block on which he grew up. Nicole, who's just an incredible tenant of ours, she has a really neat story because she is somebody who has lived in 3 of our units and has moved progressively as her income has increased and as she has gained stability for her family, which is exactly what we want to have happen at Urban Hope. And we built this with her in mind. She got to pick out the colors and design a little bit of how the house was going to go. And she said, never in our lifetime as a family have we ever put pictures on the wall, because we didn't know how long we would be there. But I'll tell you this, at my Urban Hope house, I'm mounting the television.
We've stopped here at the corner of Fairmount Avenue and North 24th Street to stretch our legs, take a quick potty break, and walk to the site of Urban Hope's future headquarters here in Church Hill. The developers who purchased the old 10th Street Baptist Church approached Urban Hope and offered it to them as a rental. But Executive Director Sarah Hale had a bigger vision. She wanted to purchase it. It seems the perfect place to fulfill their vision of a thriving East End community where everyone can find a home. As we near the end of our tour, we are passing by the Mosby Court Public Housing Project on our left and passing the Martin Luther King Middle School on our right. In the distance, you can see the Richmond city skyline.
This is the Jefferson Park, where you can see the whole city, and where Pastor Don has been praying over our city for decades, and we thank him for it.
Let's pause for a minute to look back at Urban Hope's history. Pastor Don Coleman founded Urban Hope in 2000 and served as its first executive director with a focus on the East End of Richmond. In 2006 was the first purchase by an investor, and then 2011, the first home purchase by a client. They first offered rental housing in 2013. In 2015 and 2016, the staff expanded with the addition of the first full-time executive director, Sarah Hale. In 2017, they began offering their in-house financial management course, Money Smart. Urban Hope has grown exponentially in the last 4 years, acquiring its 10th rental unit in 2018, its 20th in 2020, its 30th in 2021, now up to 32 units with 80 plus tenants. Church Hill has changed dramatically in the past 75 years. Some call it revitalization. Some call it gentrification. For those moving into Church Hill, they're drawn by the historic charm, the hip new restaurants, and the soaring property values. And for those being priced out, Urban Hope is fighting hard to make home a cornerstone of opportunity by keeping it affordable for all. Lawson Wijesuria and her family have lived in Church Hill since 2004. For her and many new homeowners in this neighborhood, upholding the freedom and opportunity for every Church Hill neighbor is a personal passion.
We're really looking at kind of a spectrum of needs, and Urban Hope fills a really particular one, which they're kind of ingrained in the community. They can really go block by block or lot by lot and solve affordable housing or homelessness for that family. You know, I can't help the fact that I'm white. I can't help the fact that I have needs, but you know, I'd like to say that I'm more of a solution than I am a problem sometimes. And so I think that means moving into these communities and being a part of the community, understanding the story, ingraining yourself in the community, and giving back.